even in hot markets, the process from putting a house on the market to legally selling it can take 1.5 to 3 months, meaning home equity isn't a quickly accessible investment.
Yeah, but do you think that's pretty quick, 90 days?
No, it is quick. I mean, it takes you that amount of time to get out of a lease.
Exactly. So here you've got a piece of property that you can turn around and sell in less than 90 days. Now, this is the US. You can't do that. Like, for instance, I live in Italy. That could be very hard to do that in Italy. But in the US, you've got something that's in a good market. It's liquid. The other thing is you can rent it, right? You're actually not trapped. If you start to build equity in your home and you pay your mortgage down slightly, next thing you know, you're able to rent that property and you can still move. Today, people are taking their homes and they're Airbnb-ing them. What I really want for people is the chance to be financially free. There's also an age at which it doesn't matter if you own. You know, once you start to get older and you've built financial security, you get in your 50s or your 60s or your 70s and you just want to travel and you don't want to own anything, that's a different stage of life. So the question just becomes the money that you make. I go back to the 90,000 hour comment. When you work 90,000 hours over your lifetime, what's your plan to keep some of this money? You have to have a pay yourself first plan. That has to be your number one priority, is that when you earn money, the first person who you're going to pay is you. If you say, you know what, I watched Steven and I saw David and I've seen a bunch of other people on his show and I'm not going to buy a house. Okay, then you have to pay yourself first more. Now, I go around the world for the last 30 years, starting with Oprah, with the Automatic Millionaire. I launched this book on Oprah, and I talked about you have to save 1 hour a day of your income. And people will get on these social media boards and be like, I can't save 10% of my income. They'll tell I can't live off 90% of my income. It's not possible. I have to spend all of it, right? Well, then that person who's renting and not buying a house, which is forced savings, is clearly never going to save. So the other thing about buying a house is it does require forced savings, because when you have a mortgage payment, part of that mortgage payment is paying down your debt. And I teach you how to use a bi-weekly mortgage payment plan. So you take a 30-year mortgage and you pay it off 5 years earlier. And doing that can save you, depends on the size of the home, can save you $50,000 to $100,000 just in interest payments.
You talk about having a savings mindset. What is a savings mindset? And how does one go about saving if they are one of those people that says, listen, I'm barely getting by as it is, David?
Yeah.
How the hell am I going to save money when I'm actually increasingly getting into more debt right now?
So the first thing is you have to find your money, right? So what I find, Steve, is when I talk to people, most people don't know where their money goes. Literally, they don't know. They're like, I'm like, how much money do you spend a month? Well, I'm not really sure. How much money do you spend a year? Well, I'm not really sure. You need to be sure. So you should be doing something to track where your money goes. Now, you can be sophisticated. You can use an app that will track where your money goes. You can also take out a pad of paper. And I give people a 7-day financial challenge. For 7 days, just bring a little pad of paper with you and write down every single day where your money goes. Now, why do I want people to do that? Because most people today are spending money unconsciously. I go back to these phones. The fact that I don't even have to carry a wallet anymore, right? It's just click, click, click and pay for things. We've lost touch with spending money. So when people start to see what they're really spending, it's a wake-up call. The biggest thing I've been sharing lately is, what does it take to blow $10,000 a year per day in terms of spending? How much money do you need to spend a day to blow $10,000? Now show us now we happen to have we have pounds today, right? So I'm holding, Steven, right now, I'm holding what is known as a brick. So I don't know if your staff told you how much I'm holding here. You know what'd you guess I'm holding?
It looks like maybe $5,000.
Okay, so this is a life-changing amount of money. Steven, this is $10,000 right here. Mm-hmm. And what does it take to blow $10,000 in a year per day? How much money you have to spend per day to go through $10,000? I'll make it easy for you. The answer is $27.40 a day. $27.40 a day adds up equaling $10,000 over the year. Now, before we go through where do you spend this money and how do you waste $27.40 a day, the question becomes, if you didn't waste $27.40 a day and you were able to get yourself to invest $10,000 a year, what could this be worth over time? And the answer is in 40 years, if this was in the S&P 500 fund, which you quoted earlier, and you earned 10% annually with reinvested dividends, that stack there would grow to over $4,400,000 if you invested $27.40 a day.